I'm here with Steve Minos of Carousel Hairstyling tonight, and we're just going to have a little conversation and get to know more about Carousel and get to know more about why they're a great business in the East Danforth. So, Steve, can you let me know and describe your business and what it is that you do?
Basically, as the name says, we're Carousel Hairstyling. We're a hair salon for men and women and families. Been in the neighborhood since 1967.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
Uh, we're, a
amazing.
fa- we're a family business that has pretty deep ties to the area and the community. So we've been very fortunate to be there for that long.
Yeah, that's really great. So when you say you're a family business, who all is working in the business?
We still have my mother, father, uncle. They're the original owners of Carousel Hairstyling when we started
Right.
in 1963. The one on the Danforth was actually our second salon.
Where did the first business start?
The first business was at Pape and Cosburn. That was the initial Carousel. And
Okay.
the way the name came about back in the early 60s, people used to name their salons basically after themselves. So it would be like Kathy's Coiffures or Peter's Parlor or things like that. And
Right.
Kathy one day was on her way to assign the lease for the first Carousel, and she saw this Carousel, and she thought, "Gee, that'd be an interesting name for a hair salon, since things are always revolving, and it might be a little different than calling it Kathy's Coiffures." And to this day, people still think Carousel is our last name, but it's actually the name of the salon. Our last name is Minos. Our main services are hairstyling services. We do some facial waxing, but we primarily stick just to hair services now.
Okay. And how have you found things with the lockdowns during the pandemic?
It has been challenging, to say the least. We were one of the lucky ones. We were able to somehow stay afloat, as they say, and keep going. We've had some wonderful support from our people in our neighborhood, our community, our clients, and it's been a big part of why we're still there.
It's great because that's the thing. You're a longstanding business in the community, and so we don't want to see local business struggle just because of these situations. So when did you join Carousel, and why did you decide this was going to be your career? It sounds like it's a family thing.
Ironically, I joined Carousel on a whim back in 1978,
Oh, I need a job.
trying to be a little rebellious. I was supposed to be starting my first year of university, and I decided to change my mind. And Kathy, at that time, my mom says, "Well, what do you think you're going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to become a hairstylist." She says, "No, you're going to get an education, and then if you want to become a hairstylist, you can become a hairstylist, but you're scheduled to go to school." I said, "Oh, I'm not going." So the other principal owner, which is my uncle James Grisdoulis, said to Kathy, "Listen,
Right.
let him start. We'll make it so bad that by the end of July he'll be begging to go back to school." And as it turned out, I was very fortunate, and I really enjoyed being part of the business and being part of the industry. And as time went on, I was very fortunate. I won many awards, from being the top apprentice in the province for that term. I've won some competitions as I was moving along, and it kept
Amazing.
growing and growing and building and building. And as we went along, working with James, my uncle James Mazulis, he's one of the other owners.
Right.
He sort of pulled me under his wing, and with Kathy and them, and we started doing more hair shows. And as time went on, our popularity grew, and we were doing hair shows in Canada, U.S., and abroad in Europe. And slowly, as time went on, I was fortunate enough to become president of the Canadian Guild of Hair Design and artistic
Wow.
director of the Guild of Hair Design. But totally with the help of my family. For many years, we did a lot of hair shows. We were the original hair salon for the show Degrassi Junior High that was filmed in
Oh,
our
cool.
neighborhood. All those kids came from Malvern.
Wow. Like
the
Malvern Collegiate.
yes, the original bunch, and
Great.
that was one of our sort of stepping stones in the early '80s, and it was a fun time, and it was an interesting business, but it always seemed to come back to being behind the chair, but we always seemed to come back to the Danforth. And in the end, it's home. It's our
Great.
business. We're there to earn a livelihood, but it's home. And it's everybody that comes to our salon. One of our biggest assets is that everybody's like family. Every client that comes in is not just my client. They're a client of our salon, but they're part of the family, and we treat them, as clients and the customers, of course. But you develop relationships. We have clients that have been with us literally for 50 years or more. We have generational clients where we've done, the great grandma, the grandma, the daughter, and now the grandchildren. So we've been fortunate, and it's been a real, a wonderful ride in our area and in our neighborhood. We've seen transformations, we've seen changes, but the one constant that's always been is our business is a people business. We're in business to earn a living, to hopefully have a better life for our families, but we're also there to be part of a community. And being part of a community is not just living in it, but it's working in it, contributing to it, building it. I was the original chair of Danforth East Village BIA, where our business is. And many improvements that you see on Danforth between Victoria Park and Westlake are a direct result of the investment that the businesses of that community have made in partnership with the City of Toronto. All the redoing of the sidewalks was paid for by the businesses.
You guys have been really engaged. I'm interested in what some of your favorite businesses are that you've frequented. I mean, you've been working in this location for, I don't know. How long you've been working here? 40 years?
We've been at that location literally since July 1st, 1967. But there are some really wonderful businesses, lifelong businesses. There's a fantastic jewelry store in our neighborhood, Edwards and Davies Jewelers. They've been there even longer than us, 60, almost 70 years. They're now into the third generation of running the business, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got some really nice little restaurants developing in our areas. It's coming along. It's always been one of the things that we wanted to see more of happen, but it's coming. There's a lovely little place called Tasties, which makes some fantastic food right near Canadian Tire.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
There's a lot of little. That's sort of my one of my favorite little quick lunch things for me.
Yeah.
But we have a nice mix between some big businesses like Canadian Tire and the big grocery stores and Lowe's, and a lot of small businesses like ours and family businesses, and a lot of different cultural businesses. So we have a vast array of different sort of a very diverse community that's there, that sort of reflects a little bit of what's happening in our neighborhood, in our city. And there's some really wonderful people that have come in to open businesses. We just got the influx now of a new comedy theater in the area with Second City opening up, which is,
I saw that.
I think is going to be exciting. But from what I understand from friends and yourself being in real estate, we have in the next 5 years, they're talking about growth of anywhere from about 15 to 20,000 people moving into the community. And
well, there's a lot of new building, right?
Absolutely.
Along Danforth, for sure, and even down Victoria Park and up Victoria Park. So yeah, there's a lot of people for sure.
But now, as I said, technology has been a wonderful thing. I'll give you a perfect example in our business. Before we used to go get a haircut, we always had hairstyling books in the salon, and people would just say, "Oh, do you have any books? I want to look at some styles." And they would open up the books and they would kind of flick through their styles. Now with the internet, one, with COVID, we're not allowed to have any paper in the salon. No magazines in our salon right now, which we've always had. We have no books for hairstyles, but what we do have is our telephones and laptops and things. And if I want to, if I have a style for, say, a lady or a man, and they say, "Oh, I want a short hairstyle," or a man says, "I want a fade haircut," I can punch that in on my phone and I can show them 100 different looks. I have to give you a compliment today, because right after you left the other day, there was a lady in the salon. I don't remember. She was getting her hair colored. And she had short curly hair. She was having her hair colored burgundy. And you had laughed, and she admired your hair. She's like, "Oh my God, that lady's hair is just so gorgeous. How does she color it like that?" And I said, "That's natural."
That's just the way it grows.
She looks just beautiful. I said, "Well, you should see her without the mask." Things that I really love to make is I make My father-in-law, who's Italian, taught all his son-in-laws how to make wine, but old school wine,
Oh,
where we actually get
nice.
the grapes and we ferment it and it boils in the garage, and there's the whole
Amazing.
science and it's all natural. And we make a good batch of wine every year, a cab sav that usually around 350 to 400 liters. And it's old school Italian type of winemaking. Even though I'm not Italian, my wife's background is,
Well,
and it's a hobby that I love, but it's one of my passions. And ironically, a lot of our friends and family really enjoy sharing a bottle with us, and we love sharing a bottle with them, of course. And my grandfather used to have a cute little saying. He used to say, "If you make in your lifetime one really good friend, you're really lucky." And he said, "Tom, what are you talking about, old man? You don't know what you're talking about." And what he meant to say was, everybody can be there for the party for you, but it's when you're crying who's going to give you a phone call without anybody knowing. And we all have
yeah.
those people in our life if we're lucky. I've been fortunate to have several people like that in my life, not just friends, but associates, clients, surprisingly at times. And we as a family have been fortunate to have many people in our lives that have been like that. And that's because of Carousel Hairstyling. That's because the people that come to visit us. Somebody's sitting in your chair for half an hour to 40 minutes at times. You hear, we used to joke we're the cheapest psychiatrist in town. Uh, when they come to the hair salon, they know they're not going to be judged. Sometimes they just need to hear a different voice and say, "Oh, my kids are driving me crazy," or "I can't take this COVID anymore." And, "Oh my God, work, and I hope my job." And you're there saying, "You know what? It's going to be okay." We're not, they're not judging. It's just somebody else to talk to. And you get to know that person and they open up. And before you know it, they're not a client, they're a friend. And we have a lot of cute stories, interesting stories, and we have a lot of shared secrets with clients,
Of
because
course.
they open up to us, and you don't share that with anybody but them. They know it's safe, and that's a big part of our industry, and that's a big part of the job. People have always thought, a lot of the young stylists think that hairdressing is about just cutting the hair and just doing the hairstyle. I want to be an artist. I want to be a star. I want to be the, when I started out in this business, there was one of my best teachers was my first teacher when I went to my apprenticeship program. And she put up on the board, I want you all to write on your paper two things: the percentage of what it takes to be a good hairstylist, what percentage is talent, and what percentage is attitude. And we were putting up 70% talent, 30%
Yeah.
attitude, 90% talent, 10% attitude. And she walked up to the front of the board and she put 90% attitude, 10% talent. We can teach you to do anything, but I can't teach you to have the right attitude or personality. You have to care about the person that's sitting in the chair, and that goes whether it's hairdressing, that goes whether it's life, whether it's friendships, whether it's business, whether somebody like you comes to sell them their home or in real estate.
Yeah.
It's a personal. There's a connection. They're putting their trust in you, and when
I
somebody
was
puts their
gonna
trust,
say, Steve, like what you described, right? It's that intimacy, right? And having someone in your home is much the same in the sense
oh
that they're gonna see how you live. They're gonna know what, mistakes you made when you tore a wall down.
yes,
They're gonna, and it's intimate. It's also intimate when I'm trying to help clients decide what type of house would actually work for them. Because sometimes people think,
absolutely.
well, this is exactly the kind of house I want. And I think, well, you got two kids under three, they're going to come down those stairs.
Yeah,
You're not going to
yeah.
be you're going to be unhappy. You're not going to be able to put a proper baby gate up there. Like
It makes a difference.
that's an example, but you need to really, it's an intimate business, and you're getting people, I think in a similar way, they're sharing things with you because it's personal.
We are in our industry. What people don't realize is we have one of the most unique jobs. The one person that came along was my wife. That's where I met my wife, ironically, at the store.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and
There's a tip.
she was originally a hairstylist in our salon, and that's where we had met. Later on, changed careers and went into something a little different, only because of things with our children and timing and being home because our hours are very different. But if it wasn't for, again, the Danforth and Carousel, my life might have taken a completely different path. I may have never met that person that has now shared my life for 35 years. So it's been special. It's been a special time with some special people.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. So what would you like clients to know about Carousel right now, right this moment?
Right now, our biggest thing is we do everything possible to make our place a safe haven. We know everything that's going on is very dangerous. People are very nervous, very cautious. The first thing we did when this all started 20 months ago is we voluntarily shut down before they actually locked us down. We didn't think it was going to last that long, being honest.
Of
But
course.
we thought, for the safety of our clients, of our staff, everybody involved, we needed to maybe step back for 2 weeks, a month. We thought that's what it would be, which many of us thought, but we're surprised where it's at now. So
Yeah.
what we did once we reopened, the first step we did is we removed half our stations. So we have a large space, but it's very spread out. None of our stations are within 6 feet of each other. They ask that we do at least 6 feet of social distancing. We keep it at anywhere from 7 to 8 minimum. We limit the amount of
Yeah,
clients.
no, I noticed that. I'm in there.
We limit the amount of clients in the shop. We're very particular about disinfecting everything. Originally, when we first opened up, we went to the actual point where we had our regulations were 10 times stricter than the government. We used plastic disposable capes, disposable towels. Every chair station was sanitized and re-sanitized when clients came in and moved, or somebody that sat in a spot. Now we were able to, as time has progressed, change the environment slightly, where we were able to loosen some of our restrictions, and it's a little bit safer, but it's mandatory, obviously, to wear a mask. We do have still, we run at less than the half capacity as for safety, not just for our clients, but for our staff and ourselves as well.
Of course.
Does that make it hard on business? And we try to do the right thing. And I think if we all do that together and we all kick in and do what we're supposed to do, we'll get through this a lot faster and a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I think I totally agree with you there. So what's the best way for customers to come to you if they want to come, just drop in, give you a call? What works for
The
you?
best thing we recommend right now, only because of COVID, is before dropping in. If you want to drop in, absolutely, you're welcome to pop in and see us in the salon anytime. But we ask people, the best way is call us. They can send us an email. We'll answer emails, but still the best way, you have a question, call us. We don't charge to talk. We only charge to do work. So, if they have a question, give us a call. If you're interested, give us a call. If you need your hair done, we recommend that our clients make appointments because we give priority to our appointments before walk-ins. We do take walk-ins if there's availability, but if somebody has an appointment right now because of the restrictions and the limited amount of clients at a time we're allowed to have in the salon, we give that priority. And again, the simple old-fashioned phone call just to make sure everything is okay. And if you have a question or a concern, we can address that on the phone right with you right then and there. Sometimes when you text, sometimes when you email, things get taken out of context. And sometimes we mean to say one thing, but when you read it, it says something else. So I still like to talk to people, especially right now, to calm everybody's fears, calm everybody's worries, and also to give them the best information we can give them.
Well, that's great. And I really, really appreciate you spending some time with me today to tell me a little bit more.
You're always a pleasure to spend time with. You're always happy. How can I not want to talk to you?
I am. I'm a happy person. I love the neighborhood, and I'm keen to help. So is there anything else you think people need to know about Carousel before I wrap us up here?
The only thing I can say is, we intend to be in the community for a lot longer and make positive contributions. And, we hope that you'll support us, but we also hope that you'll support the other businesses in our area as well. And, if we can take care of our community together and maybe do, one old-fashioned thing, if everybody could do it, it's not just about coming to Carousel, it's do something nice for somebody else. If you have a moment, take a moment, do something nice for somebody else. It'll be nice for yourself.